The Hat Man. Welcome to the video, guys and gals. Today's video is a little something special that I cooked up to teach about the relatively new category of phones called midphones. These phones are not dumb per se, but they're not fully smart either. They're right in the middle. They're mid. We're gonna go over what makes a phone smart, what makes these phones mid, and then I'll show off one of these mid phones and what it can do. That's the plan, so let's hop to it. Hold it! But first, be sure to slap that like button, blast that subscribe button, and kick the crap out of that bell. Thanks, friends. Now, moving on. The first order of business is to define what makes a smartphone smart. The claim to the name of first smartphone ever has contenders whose origins date back to the early 90s. Yeah, that is way before modern apps were ever a thing, so having an app market is out of the question as a criterion for being smart. Contenders of the title for first ever include the Ericsson R380 from 2000 and the 1994 IBM Simon. These phones had more advanced capabilities than your standard cell phone from their time. Let's break down what they could do to figure out why people consider them contenders for the title of first smartphone. The Ericsson phone had the ability to text, store contacts with multiple bits of information per person, browse the web via a primitive browser devoid of HTML. It had a calendar and various tools such as a calculator. The IBM Simon had similar features and could even send faxes, but lacked the browser. They were both touchscreen as well. That's cool and all, but many of these features would later become standard in Dumbphones. So what really set them apart? The answer is their operating systems. These phones were designed as computers. The Simon ran RAM-DOS and had a file system manager, while the R380 ran Epoch 5.1, a predecessor to Symbian OS, and had the potential to install new programs. Dumb phones don't have true operating systems. They run what is essentially one big program, probably made in Java, that has features hard-coded in. There is typically no way to affect the software on these devices, games excluded. Therefore, it's the presence of a true operating system that sets these phones apart. And, fun fact, the term smartphone was coined by the Ericsson company when marketing their upcoming R380 phone, and it was originally hyphenated, like Spider-Man. Okay, then what do these midphones do, and what makes them middle tier, I hear you ask? Good questions. Midphones have operating systems. They can come with either KaiOS or Android Go. They have app stores, can have new apps installed, they have basic tools, they have email, calls, and texting, they can have games, they can browse the web, and you can browse their file systems. Okay, that sounds just like the other smartphones. But here's what brings them down to middle tier: their hardware. These phones are packaged in lower spec dumb phone bodies on purpose, typically with around a 1.0 GHz processor and from around 1/4 of a gig to maybe 1 gig of RAM. This is so that costs can be kept low for consumers in emerging markets and lower income regions. Low cost with access to modern apps and the internet is a godsend for those who need to connect on a tight budget. This is the whole reason KaiOS exists. In places like India, where the internet is finally spreading fast, the need to connect is growing exponentially. KaiOS phones being cost-effective has made it a highly popular choice there. At the same time, Android Go is being used in the same way. Go was made for budget smartphones, but it's so lightweight that it's being put in midphone packages too. These midphones are not just for third world regions. They are found in most major countries such as the US as well. So there you have it. They're essentially kneecapped smartphones, making them middle tier on purpose. Let's take a look at one of the KaiOS phones right now. Switching to live action. Okay, so I have here two KaiOS phones. One is the 2710. The other one is, I forgot. The battery compartment says it's the TA1059. But everyone knows this as the banana phone, but this is the Redux for the modern age. Whoop! See that? It's got a little slide down mechanism here. Yeah, so Nokia has been revitalizing their old designs and making these KaiOS phones. So we're gonna see them make both Android and KaiOS for a while. The one I'm gonna do demos of though is the 2720 right here, because it has a higher update than this one for some reason. Okay, so here's the main menu. You can have a background and then you have your date and time. From here, you can do similar things to like how a dumb phone would function. You use your D-pad for shortcuts. So if you press the left button, you've got your special apps, your main functions, YouTube, Maps, Google Search, Facebook, and WhatsApp. To the right, you have your contacts. When you press down, nothing happens. Press up, and you have your shortcuts to your settings, your quick settings like airplane mode and your brightness. Now you press the middle button, and you will show up all your apps. We'll get back to the apps in a second. Now, the right and left buttons are self-explanatory as they are printed on the screen. Here are the notices. Here's the camera. Yeah, it's pretty mediocre, but I will say it's better than it was 15 years ago. Not that it's good, but it's better than 15 years ago. And yeah, it does record video as well. Alright, so I guess we'll show one of the main functions. Let's go to the texting app. I'll go to this person, and I will message. This used to be one of my Google phone numbers, but it since has lopsided, and I lost access to it because I didn't use it. So this is just a random guy, and I don't suggest that you use this number. So when you message, you can choose which app you want to message with, which is very nice. Apparently I sent a test message to this number in the past. So when you text, you're obviously going to be using the T9 interface. And there's different glyphs here because this is the international version, and so it's got glyphs for different languages printed on the keypad. Let's do a little T9 typing. Well, how about that? There's the message. So yeah, typing can be slow, but if you're really good at it, it can be fast. You just gotta memorize how all the functions works. For instance, this thing right here changes the case mode. If you look, I'm gonna press it and then you look on the screen, and it'll change what mode you're in. So lowercase, full, uppercase, numbers, and then the in-between for upper and lower where it understands the beginning of a sentence and capitalizes the first letter. Now you can also turn on predictive text, but I don't use that because it didn't seem to be very intuitive for my brain, so I don't have that turned on. Alright, so we're back in the main menu. Let's go to the App Store. Here's the KaiOS App Store. And by the way, the standby time when turned off is months. I haven't touched this phone in months, and it's still got a decent charge, considering it's been turned off this entire time. Smartphones, when turned off for months, they'll just die. So anyway, I'm gonna show the store. Hey, look, it loaded! I don't know what that was all about. Well, here's the recommended section. And, by the way, apps cannot be purchased for some reason. So you can't earn money on these apps. So you have to put ads in them if you want to earn anything. And unfortunately, that means a lot of the apps will have ads in them, and they're inescapable. Now there are a lot that don't have ads, but there will be some that you will have ads, and you won't be able to tell which one's which until you download it and use it. So the store, it cannot be categorized in any other way. It's stuck in this way to where you turn left and right, and it gives you categories. And that is how it is and how it's always going to be. You can search though, which is nice. Although, last time I tested searching, it didn't come up with what I wanted. So, if I search Pong, there's a chance that it won't come up, but it does exist. Oh my god, it actually came up! They fixed it! Okay, nice! So, this is one of the apps that I think is pretty sweet. There's actually an Atari game on the, an official Atari game on the KaiOS store. So yeah, that's searching and that's everything. That's pretty much the whole thing there is to the store. It's actually glitched. Still, it's not loading the text in the menu. Now, well, let's see, what else do I want to do? Let me check my list. Oh, okay. So, there is one game that's actually pretty premium. Unlike a lot of the shovelware that's on here. Let's see if I have it installed. I guess I uninstalled it. Alright, back to the store. Check it out. Jetpack Joyride, and it's official. Now, I don't think it's going to run very well on this more lower end phone, but we're going to run it because this one won't load. Now, okay. I'm about to say, now the game is loading. This is kind of running decent. Oh, I lost. Did you see that text? It said there was an ad there. Ooh, but I didn't see it load, so that's good. Yeah, so that's Jetpack Joyride. Very nice. It's a fun little game. It'll definitely run better on this one, but I can't get the freaking store to load. At least, I think actually, I didn't even pay attention. And when I scrolled through these games, did I have Pong installed? Yes. Okay, let's play Pong for a second. Now, it says Atari Classics, so that would suggest they were planning to do more, but I guess they realized, oh, we can't sell it, so they didn't bother making more of the Atari Classics on this system. Come on. Oh my lord. Well, that was weird. There was an ad, but I could easily dismiss it. But that's what I was saying earlier. They can't sell anything on this freaking app store. No one can. Which is a really bad thing for the developers. For the consumer as well, because it's just you can't purchase an app like full. There's gonna be permanent ads in every app there is. Let's take a look at the browser now. Let's show Midphone browsing. Alright, let's go to Nintendo.com. I had to cut there because I doxed myself. I was at Google and Google was like, here's your email. I'm like, oh my god, thanks. And then I tried sour.gg for Oompaville's candy, but it gave me 403 forbidden. So I was like, well, it's time to go into Nintendo. Wow, that's pretty big. Still loading. Did it load? I guess it did load. Well, it's not the best experience, but it's doable. What's up, cat? Little Mimi cat. Meow. No. Okay, I'm gonna need you to move. Alright, doesn't seem to be loading. So, well, that's enough browsing, I guess. Well, I tried to show you WhatsApp, but something went wrong. It says no internet. Oh, I think the battery's too low. What the hell? Well, I mean, WhatsApp is WhatsApp. It just uses buttons to navigate, and then Facebook is pretty much looks just like Facebook. You just use buttons to navigate. So, yeah, that's about it for showing off this KaiOS. You know, it's got Google, it's got Maps, it's got YouTube, it's got Facebook, it's got WhatsApp, it's got, I'm not sure if it still works, but it's got Reddit as well. It's got Reddit, and it's got a Twitter app as well. Here's Zap Reddit client. There's an alternative browser I forgot about. Let's see. Let's go find. There it is. TweetFit. So it's a Twitter app. Anyway, so that's KaiOS in a nutshell, I suppose. These two phones, they're pretty nifty. So yeah, Midphones are pretty good. They're good for what they are. They're middle tier. They really are just middle tier. Now, I didn't get to show you Google Go Midphones, but if you want to see that in the future, there is a company phone that I found, and I can get that and unbox it. It's only like $70. So if you want to see Google Midphone in the same form factor as this flip, let me know, and we'll take a look at that flip phone as well. It'll be a different experience because I think it still has the Play Store, so we can see what kind of apps work on a Midphone that has a dumb phone body. So yeah, that was fun, looking at mid-range smartphones. Sorry, middle-tier cell phones. I hope you had a good time, because I know I did. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.